Hey guys, it's Tiny Tom Logan back with another video for you. Bit of a strange one for you today, but this is a video I thought you would like me to share with you. Now, for the regulars, cast your minds back to when we had our custom Corsair Christmas competition. And you may be thinking, Tom, it's bloody March. That was a couple of months ago now that competition finished. Well, you'd be right. Well, our third prize winner was a chap called Fredex off the forums. And he won a 3570K. This is actually his 3570K, and Fredex is the only person that's not got his prize yet. Now you may be there, I'm sure the trolls out there are instantly thinking, well, that's a bit bloody unfair, Tom. It take 2 months to send them a prize out. That's a bit harsh. Well, yeah, you'd be right, but Fredex is perfectly aware of why there has been a little delay. Now, essentially, Fredex, I'm not going to give you all of his personal background details and stuff like that, but like very, very many of you guys out there, he's not the richest bloke in the world, and his computer is a luxury that, as and when he has money to spend on something, that's something that he tries to do. And because of, family commitments and all that kind of stuff, it's normally the thing that gets left as well. So he was overjoyed at the thought of winning the 3570K. But then after a little bit of chit-chatting with him around on the forums, it quickly become apparent that it was going to be very difficult for him to be able to A, do anything with it in a decent time frame anyway, or B, even if he did manage to scrape together some money to do some stuff with it, including selling off his old rig and big down periods in the meantime, he probably wouldn't be able to do the parts justice, and especially the fact that it's the K would have required overclocking and stuff, or not required, but you get what I'm saying. He would have found it very hard to have been able to do it justice. Now, there comes a time when I do know that I am in a very privileged position in the fact that it only really takes me a phone call to, sort things out generally. Now, it's very difficult for me, obviously, with things like my own rig, the amount of exposure and their return on investment that they get from something that I do is kind of continuous, which is why, Orca come about and all the bits from Orca and stuff in the bench rigs. But when it comes for a competition rig, it gets a little bit more difficult. But basically, what's happened is I've taken a shine on Fredex. I like him as a person on the forums. He always kind of goes about things very well. He's very polite. He does try and help people. He's just the kind of a member that you do get to a point where you're like, do you know what I mean? I wouldn't mind helping it. And you may think, why are you being picky about the people you help? Well, I've been doing this a while, and believe me, once you've been doing this a few years, you do get burned a few times. And you do get very selective about the people that you want to put effort in to try and help. Fred definitely, as far as I'm concerned, was worth me trying to help. Now, his rig at the moment is an AMD 6000 Plus X2. He's got an ECS motherboard in there, which is a TA690G. He bought a brown box, or OEM, whatever you want to call it, 6870, 1 gig. He's got 4 gig of RAM in there, a 360 gigabyte Seagate, a 500 gigabyte Western Digital, scavenged, I love that, scavenged compact case. And then he's got an Antec 500 watt PSU. I'm just going to show you a couple of pictures now, just so that you can see what I'm talking about. Right, so you've seen the photos. They were posted on our forums a little while ago. The thread I will put a link to underneath, because Fred has known what I've been trying to do for him since I first spoke to him about the 3570K. And essentially, what I've done is I've just kind of, with the help of Corsair and Gigabyte, I have got him an entire system to put together. Now, some of the bits like the H60 is brand new, the CX500M from Corsair is brand new, they sent those specially. Now, one thing I will say about Corsair is they've been epic about this, because they sent all the bits out straight away. They were with me within a week. We've just been waiting on the motherboard, really. But they sent those out within a week. But also, FredEx is in the US, which means it would cost more money than he wanted to even spend on a rig in the first place for it to be able to get from the UK to the States. So what Corsair have said is, they've said to me, you know, I mean, don't worry about it, we'll get it picked up, and they are going to pay to ship it to FredEx in the US. Now, to put it into kind of context, you're probably looking at about $200, maybe $250 for them to pay to do that. And I personally think that is brilliant. I was going to swear then. I need to try and save those for the really good bits. But essentially, what we've got, the C70 is my old review sample. It was in the garage. I said to Corsair about it. They were like, yeah, if you want to use it for that, you crack on. I've got quite a few of these solid states. Fred's obviously just got mechanicals. It's only a 60 gigabyte, but it's perfect for his operating system. He can obviously install the games onto his other drives if he wants to, but this will help keep the rig snappy. We've got a 500 watt power supply. It's the CX500M. So it's one of the builders CX kind of like the lower end models that the Corsairs do. But it's that they've made these, they're like partially modular now, which is great. This is actually a 16 gigabyte kit of mine. I'm only going to put 2 sticks in there, so he's going to get 8 gigabyte of Corsair Vengeance 2133 going in there. Obviously the 3570K, which we're going to be cooling with a H60. I will be putting some SP fans on this, and probably put some airflow fans in the case as well, just so that we can try and get the best out of this, but also keep the case nice and cool. I will overclock it for him. I'm not going to put a huge overclock on there, because I want to set it up so it's really, I want to set it up so it's really quiet. Now, Gigabyte sent me over a Z77X UD3H. It's one of their kind of what I would call entry-level enthusiast boards, as in it's not like a system integrator, like real basic blue board or anything like that. It's got a lovely black PCB on it, blue heat sinks as well. But anyway, it's got a lovely black PCB on it. It's, like I said, it's like their entry-level enthusiast board. For the overclocks that we're probably going to be considering to get to, I'm probably looking with the H60 and keeping things quiet. Probably setting the volts manually, as I showed you in the video before, and going for about 4 gigahertz, maybe 4.2 at the most, just to keep it nice and cool, not stressing bits too much. The cooler will more than happily cope with that kind of thing, won't be stressing the board or anything, going for that kind of longevity thing, rather than the fact of me overclocking it to within an inch of its life, and FredEx not necessarily knowing about how to maintain it, and when he gets, you know, issues with it in a few months' time, how to tweak around it, because I've had to notch the volts up on Orca since I first built her. Also, something else that I had laying around, he's got a 6870 1 gigabyte. Well, what I'm going to do, I've actually got a GTX 560 448 core that's been here for forever and a day. It's the 440, you might be thinking 560, but it's just something I've got here. I obviously can't send him stuff that I'm still using. It's not going to get a Titan put in it, or 7970. But considering we were trying to keep this as like a free system, what we've done is we've mixed it up between new bits that the vendors could send me over and stuff that I already had here. And this was the best card that I've got that I can lose easily and no one's going to miss. So it's a 560 448, but this the 560 448 was technically like a 570 with a few less cores. So it'll be a great little card. I did a review on this when I first got it. It's really cool and quiet as well. It will be a nice little boost from his 6870, and essentially what it will mean is that he's got an entire rig that gets sent to him. So if he does want to, you know, sell his other rig on, or do whatever, you know, wants with his other rig, he can do. This will be an entire system that he technically, all he's going to have to do is put his mechanical hard drives in this for storage, and it'll be able to just kind of crack on with it. So It's a bit of a mixture. It's not the most mind-blowing spec in the world, but what you need to kind of consider is that it was only really meant to have won the 3570K, and I'm kind of doing this because not that I pity him or anything like that, but I want to help him. So what we're going to do with the rest of the video is I'm going to record me putting it together, but what we will do is I'll obviously speed it all up, and then you can see the final thing right at the very end. Obviously all these bits are new. I'm just going to stick the camera to the side and have it pointing over so you can see what I'm doing. You won't be able to see when I have the case leant over, like working inside it, but you know, I mean, it's not really going to be a massive problem for you. Yeah, I may try and put the camera up a little bit for you. I'm just trying to get the best of you being able to see in light, because if I put the camera up high, then it means I have to have the case tipped over all the time, and you have to be near enough right above it to be able to see what we're doing. But I'll have a play with the camera placement anyway. How long are we into already? Crikey, now we're already 11 minutes in. Right, so what I'll do is I'm going to stop the camera now, get cracking with this, because it's going to end up being a huge video. But I just thought you'd want to share in it and see what the end product looked like.
We are I will dream to get me out this place and onto better things. Because I tried so hard and got so far to let this slip away, and I refuse to let someone put out my flame. You gotta try much harder, hold me underwater, and you can make it darker, 'cause I will burn it all up, 'cause I'm a fire starter. At night and hope that I will dream to get me out this place and onto better things. Because I tried so hard and got so far to let this slip away, and I refuse to let someone put out my flame. You gotta try much harder, hold me underwater, and you can make it darker, 'cause I will burn it all up, 'cause I'ma bring the fucking beat back.
Okay then, just a quick one to finish off. I've done the overclocking. We've got 4.2 gigahertz there, 1.272 volts. It's not the greatest 3570K in the world, but that's as low as I can get it to voltage wise with this CPU and keep it all stable. I don't want to push it up any further than this because we've got the H60 in there and I still want to keep it quiet. If we go over here, you can see the temperatures. You can see we've got 70, 77, 76, 75 and then 84 for the package, but 84 is like the socket temp. And if you can see up here that we've been running the test, it's actually been running flat out now. It says 46 minutes there, but we were doing other tests before, and if I just stop it in front of you, what we can now do is go to the far left hand side temp, so you can see 47, 48, 48, 45, 46, 45. That's obviously dropping, that's now idling at those temperatures. The temperature in the middle, 44, 43, 42, 44, 44 is the lowest, and then the far side is the highest. As you can see, the temperatures are starting to come down now. It's about 22 degrees in the room, so those temps are quite good. We've got an SP120 on the H60 with a fan speed reducer. So it is actually, it's relatively quiet as well. So I'm quite happy with those temperatures and quite happy with that clock. I was going to do some benchmarking on it with the 560, but I've decided not to. I'm just going to get this all ready to go now, get hold of Corsair, and this can now obviously go off to Fred. And just to let you guys know at the end of the video, he actually doesn't know the final specs or anything on this yet. He's going to find out in this video and when it all goes on the forum and everything. Now if I sort of come back here, I've not got any of the studio lights or anything on at the moment, but that's the rig sat there ready. That's the I took one of the hard drive cages out, although I will put that in for it to go with, but I'll advise him to keep it out for that little bit of extra airflow. There's be 3 hard drive cages in there for it, which is enough for his rig, all the bits that he's got so far. But if I just pop the side off, I'll give you one last look. Like I said, I know the studio lights aren't on, so you're just going to have to put up with it. But there we go. I know it's a bit of a, we've got different colours in there, blue board, blue graphics card, and then red RAM. But like I said, we've just kind of like built this up out of spares, really. I know Corsair sent the cooler and the power supply and everything, but the other little bits like the graphics card, the RAM, the solid state drive, the case was all stuff that was kicking about. But so I hope he's happy. It's definitely a nice little upgrade from just the CPU that he wasn't going to be able to use. So yeah, hopefully you guys will all like it. I really hope that Fred likes it. That's the most important thing. So I'm going to leave the video here. Going to love you and leave you. This is Tiny Tom Logan with another video for you. Ding! Out.